One Piece chapter 1029. Dude. We gotta talk about Sanji, and I gotta give Oda some props for this, because when Sanji's thinking about his siblings and he's thinking about the fact that he's beginning the process of seemingly losing his humanity. If you look at everybody that was one of Judge's kids, and how all of them had their bodies augmented and turned into cyborgs, you have this one moment where Sanji thinks back and he says, I don't want to turn out like any of those heartless monsters. Notice his sister wasn't on there. And that's Oda kind of dropping the hint that, like, yes, Sanji's going to go through his transformation. However, at the same time, just as his sister had a heart, just as his sister was the most human out of all of them, outside of Sanji, obviously, Sanji's going to still retain who he is. All of his experiences up to this point in time have given Sanji that opportunity where Sanji himself can make use of this power and not be corrupted by it. So I like what we're seeing right there. And I like how you had like the moments where Queen was just like, yo, this ain't hockey. I remember what Judge told me. He said that he can give a human being an exoskeleton type body. They can get regeneration. They can get physical strength like crazy. They can get a heart of ice. You're changing right now. I want you to show me everything that you got. Show me that germ of power. And I like how when Sanji begins to start running away, it's almost like he's running away from what he views to be that transformation. Like he's looking at Queen as saying, you're the one that's causing this. And to a certain extent, Queen is, because this could be Oda kind of giving a commentary on how when it comes to human evolution, when human beings are pressed into a corner and they have nowhere else to go except for through whatever's forced them into it, human beings on the animalistic level will find a way to scratch and claw their way through, or they will die trying. And in the case of Sanji, his will to live and see Luffy become the king of the pirates is strong enough that it's forcing him to dig into the aspects of his own soul that he didn't want to acknowledge. That fact that he is one of Judge Vinsmoke's children. And what I like here is that when everybody starts shooting at Sanji, like, yo, I'm about to get me a bag, fam. Sanji worth some money. It is what it is. We about to really kind of cut up right now. What I like right here is that when Sanji is looking over everything, Sanji gets pissed off and the man takes off running, and you see that he's in the process of undergoing his evolution. And I like how Oda's kind of saving that for a later on period, because this had to be the chapter that deals with the multiple battles that are taking place between Law and Kid and Big Mom, that battle, and then you got Killer and Hawkins. I like how we get this moment where Big Mom is like, yo, I'm about to finish all this off. Big Mom's throwing out the attacks. Law's trying to do what he can. Law saying kids are being utterly useless. And it all goes back to the fact that, like, Law does not know that Kid has been linked to Hawkins. And so all the damage that Hawkins is taking, it's all damage that's being reverted over to Kid. And so you have this moment where Big Mom's able to knock down Law and knock down Kid. And then it transitions over where you have Hawkins and Killer. They're going back and forth. And Hawkins is just ramming his head into the pillar. And it's because he's trying his best to turn the tides on Kid during that battle. And you have Killer begging Hawkins to stop because he understands what's going to happen. And you have this moment where Killer is like, look, I will allow you to have my life. Just don't torture Kid anymore. And what I like there is that it gives us the opportunity where we see how much Killer wants Kid to succeed, that he's willing to give his own life. And Hawkins is just being this sadistic son of a bitch, just rubbing it in this man's face like, yo, if you really feel like that, go ahead. Cut me down, motherfucker. Cut me down right now. You can surrender if you want to, and I'll put in a good word for Kaido. However, the fact is that your captain's gonna die. You understand this, don't you? Big Mom, Kaido, they just built different, fam. They survived this long at the top of the food chain for such a long time for a reason, and you knew that when you came into contact with them. The sooner that you come to grips with the fact that this idea, this mystery phenomenon, this plan that you guys are going to take down one, let alone two of the four emperors, it was all a fleeting dream. And what I like here is that Hawkins pushes the right buttons, because in that moment right there, that's when Killer changes the tide. Killer is able to cut off Hawkins' hand. And then the next thing he does is he goes over and he rips off one of the strawmans. And it ends up being the strawman card, Death Upright. And once this happens, that's when you have this Grim Reaper type creature come out and it just starts slashing through the area. And you have this moment where Killer is like, I don't give a fuck about that. Killer is then told that the straw man won't perish. It just keeps coming back to life. And when Hawkins draws another card, he sees the tower card that he's drawn. And in that moment right there, that's when everything has changed, because Killer has managed to survive the battle and Hawkins is the one that has fallen. And as this starts to turn over and Hawkins has been essentially removed from the battlefield because he's been defeated, we have the moment where Kid and Law are standing back up to fight Big Mom. And Kid, he doesn't know what happened, but the thing that he does know is that he's back to normal now. And we get the text from the narrator that says that in the straw man cards, the tower means the collapse of the old and brittle, and its hidden meaning is a new way forward. And right now, this is Kid getting a new way forward to achieve his dream. And I like that because, again, it just shows that just like Luffy, Kid is able to inspire the people around him to reach new levels. And that's something that you need when you're dealing with people this dangerous and powerful. However, I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think about, number one, Sanji's evolution? Do you agree with me that Sanji thinking about everybody except for his sister is foreshadowing that even when Sanji undergoes his transformation, Sanji is still going to retain what it is to make Sanji Sanji? And then the second question I have for you guys is, between Kid and Luffy, who do you think inspires their crew more? Let me know down in the comment section below. So always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.